Hello. I'm here with a process video, I guess, of how I do my digital painting. So to begin with, I kind of generally just block out the shape or the silhouette of whatever composition that I was thinking of. And then I go in with a more detailed sketch after, outlining where I want everything to be, generally, and how I want it to be, where the eyes is, where the nose is. I couldn't get the vision right, so I used a 3D model to just kind of give me a general direction of how to position him, because it is kind of at an angle in this image, and angles are really hard. And so I kind of just, for this piece, I kind of just delved into nice crisp lines after the initial sketch blocks. Got really nothing else to say other than gotta wait until the coloring phase, I suppose. But yeah, this is heartsteel ezreal. This has been in the making for a while. I took a break after because I don't typically do backgrounds, but I do have background in this one, so I think it came out pretty good. I don't think the initial start was, it was a trust the process type of process. So we're on to the coloring, and so I just basically just block it out. And then I go through and set multiply on a layer, throw down some shadows. I do 2 passes of that, so 2 layers of multiply and 1 layer of color dodge typically. And then this is where I begin my rendering. I like to typically begin my rendering around the eyes and the nose area. I feel like that's the most defining feature typically for a, I guess, character painting, I suppose. And I think it's the most detailed and the most fun. But this is definitely like a trust the process type of rendering. A lot of things were going wrong. I couldn't see it, but I knew it just looked really off every time I went back. So I took so many breaks to figure out like what I could change to make this more visually appealing, like what made this look, I guess, uncanny. So I guess a tip is just to revisit it. Like it's gonna be really frustrating. I got really frustrated, but I revisit it, and like it's one of my more favorite pieces of recent times now. Unfortunately, I still do look at the final piece and kind of I see a lot of faults, or I feel like there's something wrong with the piece, but I'm pretty sure it's just me overthinking that I always do. So typically how I render, aside from the eyes and stuff, is I just pick up from what I got from the multiply layers. I don't pick any new colors typically, and just use it or reuse it around the rest of the body, I guess, around the rest of the character. I really like when I'm rendering hair to start from the shadows and pick a color like right beside it. That's like, because it's in a gradient effect. So some parts are going to be blended in and some parts are going to be nice and sharp. And I really like that look. And I kind of just do it up until it gets to the lightest part. Obviously, sometimes it won't work out like that. Sometimes it just looks really off. So I will adjust as I see fit. Yeah. So here is a good example of like what you saw when it turned really gray. A great way to figure out if there's something wrong. Typically, I like to look at the values. Maybe the value is off, so it just could all be really muddied together, all the shapes. So you would set a layer above everything into a color layer and then add some white. and then it'll tell you where your values are, and if you think the values are off in certain areas, you should change that. I think I noticed something. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I did this one. This is a really like overdue video. Yeah, for colors, or no, for lighting, I like to do specific, like not white, but like a colored version. See the shirt's shoulder, it's not like a lighter version of that shirt. It is not even like black. It's like a orangey type vibe. It's giving like sunset hitting the shoulder lighting. Because I was going for environmental lighting. Of course you don't see it, but I have a plan for him to drive a car, which is why he is sort of posed like that. Yeah. I think I'm basically done him, except for his glasses here. I think what really came out the best is his hair, as well as his like top area, chest. I'm not a big fan of the hands, but you'll see in a bit. It won't really matter in the end that it's not that detailed. Cause so basically photos, obviously you have levels of blurriness. Not everything is going to be the same sharpness. And so I used a blur to kind of create a border around his face, to give it a nice like focal point to look at, which is his face. And we are nearing the end of the video, so I'm gonna say goodbye.